Hey guys, LegoMaster1370 here, and today I'm going to be doing a overview on my entire LEGO Star Wars Rebel Trooper minifigure collection. So yeah, this is basically an overview on all of my customized Rebel minifigures, and these are pretty much all minifigs that are sort of supposed to be part of the Rebel Alliance army that we see during the original trilogy. Pretty much all of these are custom minifigures, and a good chunk of them are actually inspired from the Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1 character models of the Rebels in their various different sort of suits or attires. So, like I said, this is pretty much all custom, and there are a few figures that are not custom. There are a few figures that are not strictly sort of like army, so to speak. Or Marines, depending on what classification you want to give these. They weren't really given a proper term in the Star Wars movies, just sort of trooper. But anyway, so let's get started. Alright, so here we have the first set of minifigures. These are the standard Rebel Troopers. Pretty much basically what would mainly come to mind when you think of Rebel Trooper. These are the ones that we saw on the 10-4. And these would be some of the ones that would sort of be deployed in just standard mild environments such as urban landscapes or other just more general climates and conditions, including starships. So as you can see, they all are customized with custom faces, just sort of differentiate them and make them not all clones. And they also have ARC Trooper backpacks from the Clone Wars sets. This one right here on the right is actually an engineer from Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 1. This is a class in Star Wars Battlefront that I myself am particularly fond of. I don't know why, I just kind of like this class, the engineer class, and from all the factions in the game. And I tried to replicate as best as I could in LEGO form. Now, it's not really extremely accurate, it's not trying to be. This is actually a Cad Bane decal from before the minifigure came out that I just sort of outlined some of the elements, and I think it makes a pretty good stand-in. I just really like the look of this minifigure, even though it's not extremely accurate. Now, this guy right here, I will mention, is sort of like a commander, and you'll see him reoccurring throughout several of these different sort of formations of figures. So that's basically it for this one. Moving on to the next. Here we have the smallest grouping of figures. This is what most people would call Endor Rebel Troopers, which is pretty much sort of forest or jungle troopers that would be deployed in more lush forest environments such as Endor or other forest planets. It could be Yavin or other similar ones that aren't really as prominent in the Star Wars movies, even Kashyyyk. And these are, again, not all of these guys are custom. Two of them are pretty much the exact same that came in the Endor Troopers versus Stormtrooper Battle Pack, and the two others have custom faces. This is, again, the commander that I mentioned earlier, and there's not really a whole lot to these figures. They do have backpacks sort of to resemble their in-game Star Wars Battlefront counterparts, and also just to give all of these figures a common, more unifying theme. Now, I would eventually like to make some other Rebel Trooper classes, such as, with using these helmets, I could make some more desert sort of troopers. Heck, maybe even some commandos with more armor, and maybe even like an EVA class or something. That'd be pretty cool. But for now, that's this class. Moving on to the next. This right here is the final class of really sort of army or troopers that I have. And these are what's commonly known in the LEGO fan community as Hoth Rebel Troopers. Basically, the cold weather troopers that appeared in the Hoth sets. Most of these are from the older Hoth Rebel Trooper Battle Pack, which is a really great set. And they all have custom faces just sort of to differentiate them. We again have the commander sort of figure, which I really need to find a better way to differentiate him besides just the face. And then the other ones, like I said, have different faces. Some of them have this larger, heavier style blaster rifle. And then if we look over here, that was sort of the older torso design. This one is the newer torso design that was included in the new Battle Pack. And this one right here is actually sort of a callback to Battlefront 2 with the female sniper class. As you can see, this is pretty much the only minifigure here that's female, and I think she's pretty cool. It was a bit of a an interesting thing in the game, and I think it kind of brought a bit more gender equality, so I tried to carry that on over to LEGO, especially since we don't actually really get any female Rebel Troopers in the sets. This is actually a Harry Potter face used here just because I didn't really have anything else. My fleshy head collection is somewhat limited. And yeah, that's it for those minifigures. Moving on to the next. Here, quickly, we have the pilots. These are sort of just the pilots, again, based off of Battlefront 2. They have little pistols that they would carry in the space missions. And they all have different helmet designs, just because I myself really like the LEGO Rebel pilot helmets. I don't know why, I just find that they're pretty unique. Eventually I want to get several of these, and I don't really care about what characters they're supposed to portray, whether it be like Dutch Vander or Biggs Dacklighter or Zev Sineska or any of the characters that have these helmets in the movies. We also have a A-Wing pilot there, but these are pretty much just pretty standard Rebel Troopers, and I just like these helmets, so I'm going to try to amass as many of these as I can. Now, this is not the newest design of Rebel Trooper. Again, it came in the Endor, or not the Endor, the Hoth Battle Pack. They have changed the design recently, so I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that. But anyway, so that's just it for these minifigures. They're pretty simple, but I still like them. Finally, we have probably the least interesting group of minifigures. This is kind of like the odds and ends, I guess you could say. They're not really the trooper classes, but they're sort of other rebel characters. Right here we have the standard Admiral Akbar, the standard Han Solo, both who came in the A-Wing Starfighter. And this right here is a custom Mon Calamarian technician using a Naboo pilot or technician torso with a Mon Cala head. And I think that this guy's pretty cool. And I really hope to use some of these minifigures in mocks soon. Over here, again, another thing that I really want to use in mocks is some astromech droids. Now, like with the pilots, I really don't care what these were trying to replicate in the movies, what characters they were, whether they were from the actual movies themselves or from the Clone Wars. It just doesn't. I like astromech droids. They're cool, and I'll be hopefully using them in some mocks soon. So that pretty much wraps up all of these figures. Alright, so that concludes my overview on all of these LEGO Star Wars Rebel minifigures, and I hope you've all enjoyed, and I would really appreciate a like and a comment, just some feedback to tell me what you thought of the video. So that's pretty much it, guys. I will be coming out with more creations involving these minifigures in the future, and more videos across lots of various LEGO topics soon. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.